of multiple times of the times of injuries update. So between with of multiple updates, with those surgeries, so we will you guys update on some injuries the top list. IJ is a world of personal wrestling injuries or in most important, but it was an incredible part of the game has athletes, and they have posed their bodies to a limit night after a night of so top stars. IJ and wrestlers often found receive on the sideline due to the regardless of the squad circle. So also here we between the top list of injuries and surgeries, expanded return dates for the wrestler from the all so muscle wrestling, the permissions like WWE, AEW, Impact, and New Japan, and also a top list will be update about tell me where and names was added and removed based on their injury in return to in-ring access. So let's go between the bottom up to the top list. So Cody State has Kano injury on NXT March 4th in 2025 episode. Potter Cruz has sold a torn pack surgery on January 31st. A SmackDown episode to set to undergo a surgery back in February 2025. So Jimmy Madonna broke with broken ribs and puzzled lungs on Raw on January 27th, the 2025 episode. So Kyrie Singh an arm surgery back in December 16th of last year's 2024. Richard took a load of soda from Tom Peck at the Saturday Series last year. Boston Reed bought a fossil Joseph Bone during a War Games match at the Saturday Series in 2024. After he underwent scalpel surgery on December and then suspended to miss at WrestleMania 41. Jesse Dragon bought ACL surgery back in September and lasted and was seen training in WWE a former Central in January 2025 is expected to return very soon. Tyler Bate is bought a torn left pec in July of last season to report in January of 2025 to be closed to return to access any time. So, Keanu Sings bought a leg surgery back in June last year. Oscars bought knee surgery in April last in 2024. Into Fajada, well, it doesn't due to pregnancy. Robert Wood went out of access due to a neck surgery back in June of last year 2022. He was started working as a backstage producer in WWE from a mine of last year 2023. So, into Big E SmackDown broke his neck during a match on March 9th of last year 2022. He was appeared on a December 2nd of last year's Raw episode where he announced that he was still not medically clear. So it's going to AEW here, where Fournette was Kano injury in January and February 2025. Buddy Matthews has ankle surgery at Grand Slam this year. Since Robinson is broken on November 30th of last year's 2024 on the closing episode. Anthony Henry in underwent surgery from torn biceps incident on October 14th. So, into Richards last year's opponent just update in March of this year's that he will undergo second surgery on the same Kiswitz at Lysosaurus. He has sold with a serious case of aphonia and back in September of last year's. He had to be admitted into the hospital, reported close to return to Athens in February this year. So Nick Akomto had hip surgery back in August of last year. Sky Blue has ankle surgery on July 20th, last is on the collision episode on your surgery. Also after a few days, opponent just update on back in March of this year. So number dead seat was not clear yet. Dr. Costa's canal surgery on July 13th in 2024 on the collision episode. He will be announced to be out of Athens until the start of 2025. Riho has a fractured arm on July 6th, last on the collision episode. Matt Sundell broke his right foot back in May last year. Trent Bryant missed since double 19 on May last year to the biceps and neck surgery. Eddie Kitchen and torn ACL and muscles back in May last year. Bobby Soho injured since April of last year due to the epilepsy. Separated massive wrestling disc back in February last year. Ortiz returned to pinnacle surgery back in January in 2024. Keith Lee in closed surgery back in December of last year. Alex Hammerstone and knee surgery back in November in 24 underwent surgery announced in February of this year that he was clear to compete. Chrissy Bay in neck surgery back in October last year underwent surgery. Cuddy injured since back in September last year due to the epilepsy. Kenny King and torn ACL back in December last year. So during injured since back in October last year due to lung cancer. So let's go to the bottom on this screen right here. So let me put on the screen here. You guys want to see. So we got Kelly, got Paula Cruz, Carla Sade, Boston Reed, Elliot Dragojev, Tyler Bate, Sergio Medina, Karen Sames, Fujada, Oscar, Robert Roode, Big E, Tungo Loa, Ray Fournette, Sue Robinson, Andrew Hanley, Chris Witz Lysosaurus, Nick Akomto, Sky Blue, Riho, Matt Sundell, Trent Bodia, Dr. Castle, Keith Lee, Eddie Kirsten, Ruby Soho, Sablade, Ortiz, Chris Bay, Kairi Sane, Tonga Loa, and so doing. So when I just heard announced, when just both multiple surgeries. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. No matter share, like, subscribe in this video with BCW. And by this time, peace.